Right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with our second half of the show. So once again, would you please welcome into the red corner, Hamza Himdy. And would you welcome into the blue corner, Alex Lee. This is lightweight amateur MMA over three 3-minute rounds of action. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 153.5 pounds. He represents Ultimate Athlete Hamza Himdy. And in the blue corner, he weighed in at 153 pounds, represents Fight Zone London, Alex Lee. Your referee, Dan Mavahedi.
We move up to the lightweight division. Mixed martial arts action here in the Lion Fighting Championship. Out of the red corner, and Ultimate Athlete Hamza Himdy. Alex Lee from Fight Zone London in the blue corner. Two very talented, very aggressive martial artists, Dean. What has been a very anticipated matchup here on a stacked night of combat sports.
Alex Lee coming in with that high guard. He's worked diligently on his wrestling skills, Chris. And we see that he's trying to implement now as he eats some shots on the outside. He needs to be careful about closing those distances with his hands down.
Superman punch into southpaw for Himdy.
Himdy utilizing that overhook, Chris, very well. Able to break the distance and try and put some shots in there, but Lee, very aware, moves his head off that center line very good.
I like how he's trying to break the rhythm of Lee as well with that blitz, with that hard blitz. And the way he went with the Superman punch into southpaw seemed to really throw off Lee. But Lee doing a good job to re-gauge the distance here and time his takedown. Looking to drive for that head inside single, but again, the grappling, the defensive takedown defense, if you will, of Himdy is a spectacle. So quick, Dean, that quick twitch muscle fiber.
Lee looking to put pressure on the hips. What he needs to think about doing, Chris, is utilizing that knee to the outside. He did it briefly there, or perhaps switch to the other leg. Himdy now utilizing that 100%er, sends Lee flying across the cage.
And that's what I mean. He knows exactly when to go from offense to defense. He knows when to use strength. He knows when to use patience. Very impressive young man.
Now again, we look at the sound. Oi! It looked like Lee dropped there. Couldn't tell if that was a slip or if he dropped, but Himdy is swarming in.
That was that inside low kick. The timing from Himdy was, again, spot on. He curled the toes back. That leg slams in like a baseball bat, chopping the base from Lee. Lee, though, very committed here. His reshot is also something to write home about.
Lee relentless with his takedown attempts. You see the way he's tucking his head in very close to the midsection of Himdy there, not allowing Himdy to cinch up that guillotine choke. There's no space there.
And very aware of his own corner, unable though to counter the 100%er one more time. Again, Himdy goes to the well and strikes what looks to be a successful defense of this takedown, although Himdy is definitely doing a great job of going from one to the next. Now thinking about, like, again, that head inside single, maybe looking to go high crotch there, I can't tell, or swap to the double Dean.
Himdy utilizing that overhook, that whizzer to attach himself to Lee. Lee needs to think about alleviating his arm. See the way his left arm, is up in the air. It allows Himdy to cinch up that 100%er and lever him around. He needs to think about going low.
Himdy looks pretty fresh though, and motivated there, pressing towards the middle. The gentleman, Daniel Mohiki, in charge of this contest. We continue here in the Lion Fighting Championship.
Lee probing out with that lead jab. I'd like to see him throw some more combinations and perhaps finish with the leg kick. At the moment, he's just showing single shots, Chris. I'd like to see him mix those up a little bit.
And part of the effect of that would be able to keep Himdy guessing as to when that takedown is going to come.
Oh, nice right hand by Lee. That's exactly what he needs. He needs to do some damage up top and then go downstairs. When Himdy's thinking upstairs, Lee needs to go and right to that bottom step, Chris, and cinch up that takedown.
And a big knee lands, and then Himdy with the blitz. Lee charging in, but Himdy controlling that front headlock position. Oh, it's heating up now, baby. This one bubbling nicely here, Dean.
Lee driving that head forward. Needs to think about creating angles off this single leg. If he was to bow down to the ground and turn the corner, run the pipe, turn the corner, Chris, he might have some success. Himdy at the moment is able just to sprawl because Lee's inertia is just straight forward.
And driving the head down as well, stuffing the head. That's also a tactile adjustment there in that takedown defense situation. You're there, you're controlling, but more importantly, you're manipulating your opponent in doing so. It's not just static defense, it's absolutely dynamic defense.
Lee looking to place that overhand right. I'd like to see him set that up with some low kicks, Chris. If you can chop away that lead leg, seeing as Himdy is in a southpaw stance, it opens up that lead leg. He could chop away at that, take the spring out the step, perhaps knock him off balance. He could steer him into that overhand right.
And more importantly, make him freeze. I think one of the key things in setting up that power shot for Himdy has to be getting Lee committed to a takedown. If he can catch Lee at the wrong time, oh, that left hook again. He seems to be finishing these combinations with a left hook.
So now Himdy's utilizing that head movement. You see him move it off that center line, evading those big punches there. Himdy is involved in this fight thus far. Lee again working for that forward takedown. Oh, that landed.
Nice inside low kick there from Himdy. But he's got to be very careful when he lets those kicks go because we know that Lee is takedown oriented.
Himdy very aware, keeps his hips square and backwards to enable him to sprawl and brawl now. See if Lee can start mixing up these combinations. Nice left hook. But Himdy, again, just like I said, Himdy's evolving. when Lee went to fake that left hook, Himdy almost like he was going to roll out. So he's kind of switching up. Oh, nice switch from Himdy.
And Himdy able to catch the dominant position. An important ending to a very important round, folks. It's going down right now here in the Lion Fighting Championship. Chris Hoekstra alongside Dean Midhat. A pleasure to be with you. We are set for round 3.
Now see Lee's throwing combinations. 1-2 down the pipe, go to the body. He needs to start thinking about mixing up these shots, make Himdy not set. You see here, Himdy's able to fire off on the outside, Chris, catch the kick beautifully, and just kind of really implement his own will.
Solid jab there from Lee into the right, and that was the right we were looking for. He's showing it again with the overhand right.
The mouthpiece of Himdy has come out to see if the ref is going to look for an ample time to get this replaced.
And that was good refereeing there from Daniel Mobahidi to catch the briefest of moments for an opportunity to get the equipment reset.
Himdy back on the way. Now, the mouth guard coming out of the mouth is interesting because able to get that mouth guard to fly out the mouth, your mouth has to be open, and that is dangerous if somebody's looking for a knockout, like Lee is looking for here. If he can hide that right hand, whether it's a straight right hand, an uppercut, or an overhand right, he might get a knockout here. Himdy, again, very cautious on the outside, looking to land combinations and then move off. You'll see Himdy, there he goes, he creates that distance, doesn't allow Lee to get in and land that damaging shot.
What another interesting thing to talk about as far as just the striking, if I could isolate the striking here. Often here in these exchanges, one fighter will lead and the other will counter afterwards. Sometimes though, just like that, in the middle of a combination, for example, when Lee was pressing forwards, Himdy counters simultaneously. It's an interesting takeaway message, really, when you're watching this. What does Himdy need to do to catch Lee coming in? Because it seems Lee is looking for that right.
Almost certainly can think about that uppercut, that rear uppercut. You see Lee puts his head down when he overhands right, and he'll put it down when he tries to shoot. There we go. But a very well timed takedown, but Himdy again on point with his takedown defense, using that unhook very well and keeping a wide base.
Now, what Lee did well there was that he entered for that takedown when he knew that Himdy wouldn't be able to catch him with a punishing shot. It was too close. There wasn't really any sort of distance or space to wind up. So it's certainly been an improvement. Again, the evolution of a young fighter, you go into a fight, the pressure's on, there's the heat of the moment. You've got to make adjustments on the fly, and that to me has been evident in both of these camps throughout this contest.
Himdy being unpredictable, landing a nice body kick on the outside there. He's just able to fire off a more vast array of strikes and techniques than Lee is thus far.
Stiff jab again from Lee. And a mouthpiece goes flying. Man, they've had enough airtime with that piece of plastic to get frequent flyer miles in this contest.
Lee's, here we go, and we're back underway. Interesting to hear Himdy's corner trying to get him to utilize head kicks. And the interesting thing about this southpaw unorthodox stance, the rear leg is powerfully loaded up to the side the fighter's head is.
But again, Himdy overcommits, and then Lee goes in and tries to drag him down. The end of the round, though, has arrived. Both fighters bow and show respect. What Budo spirit!
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree, an absolute war over 3 rounds. Please, let's hear from both men in the cage. But we do have your winner by way of unanimous decision. He's from the red corner,